Bag of nuts ever been the silent shadow that dims the flame of your intimacy? That question, direct as it is uncomfortable, is the starting point of the reflection that brings us together today. Imagine Dr. Luna, a urologist with 15 years of experience, sitting in front of you, ready to reveal a truth few dare to speak. What if the culprit behind a frustrating night were hidden among the crunchy bites you consider healthy? I am the voice of this channel, your guide in the pursuit of a full and balanced life. Today, under the light of science and stoic wisdom, we will explore how certain nuts may undermine erectile function, and what you can do to regain control of your vitality. Dr. Luna has observed a growing trend. Patients who, without realizing it, sacrifice their sexual health for dietary habits that seem harmless. In the minutes ahead, you will discover 5 nuts that could be eroding your performance, understand the physiological mechanism behind each one, and receive a practical guide to restoring confidence in your intimate life. As Seneca taught, true freedom lies in mastering what affects us. It is not enough to know what to avoid. We must understand why avoiding it leads us toward virtue. This reflection leads us to our first lesson. Lesson 1. Almonds, the double-edged sword of magnesium. Dr. Luna explains that magnesium, in moderate amounts, supports circulation, but when intake exceeds 30 grams per day, it creates a mineral imbalance that reduces the activity of the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, essential for the production of dihydrotestosterone. Imagine Juan, who starts his mornings with a smoothie containing 50 grams of almonds to build muscle. 3 weeks later, his libido declines. Epictetus reminds us that it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Here, the mistaken belief in a superfood becomes harmful. Have you considered that what you see as a booster might actually be a chain holding you back? Lesson 2. Brazil nuts, the silent poison of selenium. A single nut contains the recommended daily intake of selenium, but consuming 2 or 3 per day can raise levels to toxicity, generating oxidative stress in penile blood vessels and reducing the release of nitric oxide, the messenger that enables the vasodilation required for an erection. Mira, a nutritionist, recommends 1 nut per day. However, patients report erectile dysfunction after consuming 2 or 3 daily. Marcus Aurelius would say, "It is not the material that controls us but our perception of it." Ask yourself, are you allowing a mistaken perception to dictate your performance? Lesson 3. Cashews, the trap of fatty acids. Excess saturated fats in cashews can increase LDL cholesterol levels, promoting atherosclerosis in the arteries that supply the penis. Dr. Luna notes that consuming 40 grams of cashews daily is associated with a significant reduction in blood flow during arousal. Visualize Carlos, who eats a handful of cashews as a pre-workout snack. Gradually, his sexual performance becomes less consistent. As Seneca taught, virtue lies in moderation. Excess, even when it appears beneficial, becomes a burden. Can you identify other small excesses that over time erode your vitality? Lesson 4. Pistachios, the hidden risk of sodium. Although rich in antioxidants, frequently consuming salted pistachios increases sodium intake, which raises blood pressure and compromises vascular dilation. Dr. Luna indicates that a 30-gram serving of salted pistachios per day can raise systolic pressure by 5 millimeters of mercury, a factor that diminishes erectile response. Imagine Laura, who adds pistachios to her daily salad. Over time, her blood pressure rises and her intimate life becomes less satisfying. Epictetus urges us not to desire what is beyond our control. In this case, control lies in the amount of salt we accept. What decisions can you make today to reduce that risk? So far, we have uncovered 4 of the 5 culprits that science and clinical experience point to as silent threats to erectile function. In the next section, we will reveal the final nut and offer a comprehensive strategy to replace these foods without sacrificing the pleasure of a healthy snack. Meanwhile, I invite you to reflect on what you have heard and share your perspective in the comments. I genuinely want to know your experience and how you plan to apply this knowledge in your daily life. The final culprit, the one that completes our list, is the peanut, often mistaken for a nut, which hides a dangerous combination of saturated fats and aflatoxins, toxic compounds produced by the Aspergillus fungus under poor storage conditions. Dr. Luna notes that regularly consuming 20 grams of salted roasted peanuts can increase oxidative stress in endothelial tissue, reducing nitric oxide availability and limiting vasodilation during arousal. Imagine Roberto, who always carries a bag of peanuts to the gym as instant energy. After several months, he begins to notice slower, less intense erections. As Marcus Aurelius taught, each man's life is governed by reason and nature. Here, reason invites us to question the supposed naturalness of a snack that, in excess, disrupts our body's harmony. Faced with this, the key question becomes, how can we continue to enjoy the crunch and sensory pleasure without sacrificing vitality? The answer lies not in total abstinence, but in conscious moderation, a virtue highly valued by the Stoics. Dr. Luna proposes a strategy based on 3 pillars: selection, frequency, and preparation. First, selection means choosing raw or lightly roasted nuts without additives, preferably without salt or added sugar. Nuts like almonds, macadamias, or sunflower seeds, when consumed in 10-gram portions, provide monounsaturated fats that support circulation without overloading the system. Second, frequency involves limiting intake to 2 or 3 servings per week, spaced out to avoid the accumulation of compounds that may interfere with hormone production. Finally, preparation suggests pairing nuts with fiber and antioxidant-rich foods such as fresh fruit or natural yogurt, creating a combination that enhances nutrient absorption and counteracts oxidative stress. Let us now revisit the 5 foods we have discussed. Almonds, through excess magnesium, may slow dihydrotestosterone synthesis. Brazil nuts, through excessive selenium, generate oxidative stress. Cashews may raise LDL cholesterol. Salted pistachios increase sodium intake and blood pressure. And peanuts, through aflatoxins and saturated fats, may impair endothelial function. Each of these foods, when consumed without awareness, becomes a small chain that, combined, can pull sexual vitality into the shadows. However, science and philosophy offer a way out. Daily self-observation, the calm awareness of our habits, is the first step toward regaining control. Ask yourself each time you reach for a bag of nuts, am I eating this out of real hunger or habit? What effect do I expect, and what is the actual evidence? By answering honestly, you activate what the Stoics call reason, the ability to choose consciously. Now I invite you to apply this knowledge. Review your pantry, identify what you keep just in case, and evaluate its true necessity. Replace when possible with more balanced options, and plan your portions weekly. Over time, observe how your energy, mood, and especially your intimate performance respond. Transformation does not happen overnight. It is built through consistent, small decisions. Before we conclude, I invite collective reflection. Have you noticed any link between your eating habits and your sexual health? What strategies have you tried to balance pleasure and performance? Share your experience. Your story may guide others. In summary, Dr. Luna's core lesson is clear. True freedom comes from mastering what we consume. It is not about eliminating nuts, but integrating them wisely, with moderation and knowledge. If this video resonated with you, consider sharing it. A simple like helps more people discover this content. And if you are not yet part of our community, subscribe to continue exploring the intersection of science and ancient wisdom. Remember, true mastery lies not in avoiding challenges, but in facing them with clarity and calm. May your next food choice be a conscious act, a commitment to your overall well-being. Thank you for joining us on this journey. See you in the next episode.